everyone. I start in the name of God, whose mercy is forever, His kindness is profound. Welcome on Dubai Reels with Rupa Sharma in my show, latest series, Aspire to Inspire. The main aim of my show is to show a ray of hope and candlelight to those who are having aspirations and inspirations to do big in their lives. Being a HR professional and a master life coach, I have seen many people in my career, those who by the time they reach their age, late 30s and 40s, they go through with mental health trauma. And the unhappiness is majorly because they are not in their life in those stages where they wish that they ever wanted to see them. So the gap between the dreams and the actions, when it widens, that's where the unhappiness comes and sneak in. As per WHO mental health records, the world is sitting on the verge of mental health breakdown. What is the main reason of unhappiness? The major cause for unhappiness in working population is the gap between what they want and where they are. Today, I have with me Asif Jha. Asif Jha is a friend, and I know him for over more than 20 years, and he's an engineer by profession, and he's one of us students who are coming from the university. He has studied from Aligarh Muslim University, and he's not common, he's unique. Simple reason being, leaving a set career aside, being a professional engineer, having a steady job, rather than going on a normal standard path of marrying, having house and children and car and traveling. Suddenly something happened and he decided to quit that settled career and chase his dreams. So a small little profile that I would like to let my viewers know, that Asif Jha is a person who is instrumental in training leaders. He's a national trainer in All India NSUI, the biggest student body in the world. Asif Jha is instrumental in training student leaders. So he is basically inspiration and
youth leaders also. Complete youth. It includes students also.
Okay. So basically you are actually making leaders. You are a kingmaker, right?
Yeah.
And important Congress election campaigner, 6 times AICC observer. He's been a member, national board member in Ministry of Steel, GOI, ex-member in Railways, had been elected member of AMU governing body, social political activist, and recently he has really led a health campaign, helping people suffering from COVID, especially in Wave 2. I'm obliged and thankful to Asif Jha for his, accepting my offer to join me on this forum. And I would like to ask you, Asif, first of all, welcome.
Welcome. And I would welcome everybody. It had been really bad phase for last 1.5 years. I also had COVID. Not many people had COVID. So we organized a very strong team which has really worked very hard. And we were able to overcome. And we had losses, of course. A lot of teachers we lost, a lot of other people we lost. This is how it is. I mean, this is how life goes on.
I'm sure something good will come out of this situation as well. Coming back to our conversation and discussion, Asif. Asif, let us know about you more. Where are you coming from? About your family, your background, and what prompted you to become an engineer when you were in your teenage? Did you decide that you want to be an engineer? How did it all start?
Well, I'll just give you an example. When I was in 9th class, somebody did ask me, one of my uncle's friend asked me, what are you going to be in life, So I said that initially I'll just, I'll beat competition, I'll become a mechanical engineer. I was not aware what I was talking about. I just had become a mechanical engineer. That's
random.
Of interest. So what I believe, you decide things when you are a child, when you are reaching your 10th class. I mean, there is some kind of aura around you which explains what you're gonna be in future. Mm-hmm. So when I competed and I got selected, and then Zakir Hussain of College of Engineering and Technology from AMU, I did my engineering in mechanical. So while I was in engineering college, then of course, I was quite active during my school days also in plays, debates. I was a very fond actor in a lot of known plays.
Okay, that's news to me.
Yeah, we used to perform without the mics and all those setup also. Then we had a very big auditorium, Kennedy Hall. There also I performed. I played a role of
youth politics in AMU.
Yeah, in fact, during my school college days, I was elected class representative, and I was the one who was handling the complete affair of engineering college, as like organizing the fest and then a lot of other activities. We used to have big rock shows, in those days. So lot of times we invited, and that workshop is a huge workshop which gives an acoustic effect as such. So what we used to do, we used to organize these international musicians who used to travel to India. So my friend Fauzi had a contact with them. So we invited Billy and Tony Stevens for that show. And then we used to have a complete setup there. Then we all, in 2 days we used to do it. And I used to take the permission of some cultural activity from the chairman. And then it was a huge setup. You were
instrumental in extracurricular activities from your school college days.
The song still I remember, those Billy and Tony Stevens performed No Woman, No Cry. I mean, then I came to know that's a very old song, and it's so popular. I heard from them only. I mean, so it was
Tell us about your family background. Where are you coming from? Your father, mother,
My father was an employee in Aligarh Muslim University. He was a pass out from Allahabad University. Those days, Allahabad University used to be a very, people used to call it Manchester of East during British period.
Did you feel the pressure from your family? How many siblings do you have?
Yeah, I have 3 sisters, and I'm the eldest one. They all being good. One of my sisters has completed her PhD in commerce, and then another one MPhil in botany. Then second one she
academic.
Left PhD. Yeah.
Academic background.
Yeah, this is their academic background for PhD. I mean, we all are good in academics.
Families, that's what I say. Did you feel the pressure from your family that you have to be an engineer? Did they plan or put you forward?
That's an Indian family. What you have seen, you also know what actually happens. My beta has to be an engineer or a doctor. Very daughter has to be an engineer or a doctor banegi. But at later stage, what I realized, being I became an engineer.
Let's go slow. You finished your university, and from AMU, your movement to Delhi, and you started work.
It was like, complete your engineering. I was quite active. I told you all the activities that we used to do. And these were activities which has helped me when I performed these things nationally. When we organized
that correlation.
Events in Delhi, in India Habitat Center, Islamic Center, a lot of important cultural places in Delhi. I mean, this was a kind of where we learned a lot during our college days. So very important thing in life is that if you have pass out from a resident campus, especially the campuses which are full-fledged universities in India or other places like all across the world. So you learn a lot. You share, you learn a lot of sharing. And of course, your life becomes so different from the people who are just, doing something else. So when you are in a resident campus, that's a totally different life. So I would suggest all the students who are watching, or all the parents who are watching, just make sure that you make your kid, prepare him for a competition where he can compete and study in a resident campus, at least from his 12th onwards, his graduation, his master's, his PhD and all. So that gave him an independent choice to look after what he wants to be in life. He can learn it from his friends, teachers, professors, and the environment around him. Like you have environment in Jawaharlal Nehru University, then you have DU, then you have AMU, BHU, and a lot of universities, Jamia Millia Islamia, from where you have passed on.
Right. College खत्म करने के बाद, your journey as an engineer, and where you chose that कुछ खलबली हुई, कुछ what prompted you?
After completing our job, our studies, then there was those days, like this IT revolution was going on. So IT revolution still is going on. So we all thought like engineering is basic. What I feel for all the people who are watching is that engineering as a background always helped. In all my life, as a politician, as a social activist, as a whatever you call it, as a known person, or as a building of my identity of the people whom I support, my juniors, my colleagues and everybody, I feel my engineering background has always helped.
How many years did you work as an engineer?
I worked for almost 7-8 years. I was in job. I was in enterprise application planning, sourcing, enterprise application for mechanical supply chain. I worked on, then data warehousing, data mining. In those days, we taught a lot of our juniors these things. I was a business development manager, so I used to get those expensive packages for training. So these
7
guys
years in the same company?
No, I changed 2-3 companies. Basically, I was in core mechanical field. Then I got into this IT, more IT towards engineering field, enterprise application.
Let me stop you here. After leaving college, university, the engineer Asif Jha comes to Delhi, work in different companies, hopping jobs, just like any standard average.
Any youth or any jobs.
At what point ये खलिश शुरू हुई कि नहीं यार, something is missing and you need to change your career? What happened? How long did it take?
See, within these 8 years that I told you, I visited almost all the major plants. Major plant, if you talk about Rawalpata nuclear power plant, then Shidam fertilizer, then Indogulf fertilizer, then you talk about all major setups, Tata Chemicals, then thermal power stations. I visited Anpara as an engineer.
Job ko kyun choda?
So then I realized one day see, fine in Delhi, and then you travel across for your company, for your business, for the company's business and all. What do you want to be in life, actually, what you dreamed of when you were a student, when you were a child, So then comes the main game. The main game is all about getting recognized in the sense that Delhi, being in 5-6 years, we realized it's a huge city, and we used to see all those red beacons cars, moving around. Then sometimes we used to get a chance to visit the places for cultural events at some member of parliament or some minister's place. We used to get the passes, then we used to go there. So then all of a sudden, then I, as an engineer, attended Indian Road Congress, then other big events where my company used to place a stall. Then we were the organizer in Vigyan Bhavan. Vigyan Bhavan, is the major hub of all the international activities of India, politically and socially and culturally and business-wise also.
So you used to just because you wanted to see VVIPs, or you liked those events?
No, I was participating in those events, Okay. As an engineer, I was participating.
Okay.
Then I used to see the people who were recognized, whom the whole government was inviting. Prime Minister, of course. Then Deputy Prime Minister at that time also, he came for the opening of the session. Then I realized, Asif, ठीक है, engineer होके तो कुछ ना कुछ हो ही जाएगा, बड़ा कर लेंगे. But where it ends, what am I gonna be after say 35 years or 40 years, where I'll end up? Then I realized, this is not my cup of tea, I have to do something which I'm made for, right from my beginning. Those events that we used to organize, those social activities that we used to organize, let's contribute something for the people, something for the nation in a big way, the way people are doing it in front of you. So that gave me an inspiration. So all of a sudden, then my friend, one of my very close friend, became national president of student wing of mine. Okay. So I was working, So he was I used to guide him. Then he said, yaar, ab kaise hoga? Now this is a full-fledged job, it's a big organization. We were in government. Then, fine, I'll leave my job and then let's run this organization.
Family का pressure नहीं हुआ जब आपने job छोड़ी?
Yeah, I was always a rebellion. I was a free bird. When I wanted to do something, I used to go get scolded at home. My
insecurity
father,
नहीं थी कोई भी कि was where I'm going to land, some insecurity to support life and family?
It was a little bit, but when you go for passion, see, everything is passion. What do you want to be in life? Passion is the most
recognition. They drove you out from the insecurity.
Obviously. This is something which which is very important for the people, and this has been a cause for depression also nowadays, but will come to that later.
Asif, give me those 5 attributes of yours, those 5 qualities that helped you to take this hard decision. You said passion, you said recognition, you had vision of life where you want to see yourself, which is very important, that one has to have a vision of life. If we are not having a vision, we can end up getting anywhere.
Obviously, you plan your future, of course, that way. I mean, what I've felt, I've seen a lot of people in those days also, you know. So I realized that at the end of the life, I shouldn't believe that मैंने यार ये नहीं किया, ये कर लिया होता तो ये हो गया होता. That is very important. मुझे हमेशा ये था कि मैं कुछ जो भी करूँगा, मैं end of the life I'll be satisfied कि यार मैंने जो किया वो किया यार. मैंने कोई चीज ऐसी नहीं छोड़ी.
लोग ऐसा नहीं कर पाते हैं आसिफ. मैं खुद अपने 23 साल के करियर में देख चुकी हूँ. मेजोरिटी आई नो कि किसी को म्यूजिशियन बनना था, किसी को एक्टर बनना था, किसी को राइटर बनना था, एंड दैट ग्रज, दैट अफसोस, वो काश लोगों के चेहरों पे, उनकी जिंदगियों में, रिलेशनशिप्स में आज जहर घोल रहा है.
बिल्कुल. मैं इसमें तुमसे साफ कहूंगा कि उस वक्त व्हाट आई विल से, आपसे मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि उस वक्त जो भी था, मैंने 2-3 एग्जांपल, मैं नाम नहीं लूंगा, मैंने देखा था. I've seen people getting frustrated. They were seniors, of course. So I realized यार, अब उसमें they used to complain कि मैं ये कर गया होता, मुझे ये नहीं मौका मिला, मुझे ये नहीं मिला. So I was at very early stage, I realized कि मैं वो ये कभी मेरी जिंदगी में डायलॉग नहीं आना चाहिए कि मैं ये नहीं कर पाया था क्योंकि मैंने ये नहीं किया था. So then you take risk. You know, it's all passion is one thing. Then you be clear that at the end of your life, you should regret something. I don't regret it now. I've taken all the decisions that I wanted to take.
Okay. On this note, Asif, on this note, this is my standard question that I ask even in my coaching sessions and with all my friends and family and as a coach as well. So on a scale of happiness, how many marks you will give to your happiness state right now? 0 being you are not at all happy, 10 you are extremely happy and satisfied.
See, life is still it's going on, you know.
Right now, as of today,
a lot of things are changing. I mean, this COVID has also had a bad impact.
One number.
So my out of a scale of 10, I would say ki like 7 and 7.5, I am happy. Then rest 2.5 I have to cover. Still I have to cover it, you know.
Okay.
My ambitions are halfway.
Okay. Now my second question will take you forward. What has to happen for you to feel 10? So what's your future vision? Where do you see yourself, let's say 10 years from now?
See, that's still the same after passing out or in the college days. One of my very close friends from Lady Shriram College, she was a topper from there and very dynamic girl. She asked me, what's your, this thing, what's your vision as such? मैंने कहा, boss, governing. So I told her, कि boss, governing करनी है, मतलब हुकूमत करनी है, और
इंशाल्लाह
be part of it, the top cream of the country. I have to be there. I have to be a decision maker in that. So
she Asif, I have to stop you here. I want you to know, when operating in this VVIP circle, those who are just like TV stars for us, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Sheila Dikshit, you are in that first circuit. The other day I called you for something and you said, oh, hum Sheila ji ke ghar pe hain. I said, Sheila Dikshit, and so एक वक्त होता था कि ये चीजें ऐसा लगते थे कि they are stars, and now you are a part of that galaxy, and you are part of that system that is going to make India better. Even if in opposition, Congress party has a big role to play, and people like you who are instrumental in generating and manufacturing leaders and imparting those qualities which are required in the youth to excel. Having been that accelerator.
Obviously, I mean, seeing Sheila ji,
how does it feel now?
Convoyed moving in a defense colony, then talking to her personally was a journey, Personally, in the sense that we traveled from Shimla, she explained all the stuff that she had done after 15 years when she was Chief Minister of Delhi. That's a journey, you know. I mean, you covered, you did lot many things. Then you got a chance to been always with her. When she in her late 2 years, we were very close to her. I would say, see, when I told you that what, I mean, you have to be clear in your mind what you want to be in life, and then you chase your dream. That's one thing. You chase it properly, you know, and then the best thing is that you have to take risk. I mean, if you don't take risk, you stop dreaming. I'm telling you, if you're not capable of taking risk, then please stop dreaming. Then you have to come down. आप अपनी limitations decide कर लीजिए. Then you'll कि ठीक है, हम एक अच्छी सैलरी पा जाएंगे, हम अच्छा एक हो जाएगा. Don't grip then कि ये वहाँ पहुँच गया, इसने वो कर लिया, इसने वो कर लिया. If you don't have इतना दम नहीं है आप में कि आप
profound thing that okay, take a pride in your own decisions.
Yeah. So what I believe कि हमारा जितने भी एक ग्रुप है, बहुत important circle है, politics में भी. And second thing is it's above, you know, we have become now a bit senior in youth politics also. So now what we believe कि I mean ठीक है, I'm associated with a particular party, but for the country if you're serving, then you have a lot more responsibility. At a certain stage you realize that you have become a responsible citizen now. I mean a responsible leader now. So you have to serve your country in a different way. That's how we work in COVID. That's how we work in lot of many disasters. We help the government also. The government we are not in the government. So you have to be part of a system where you use all your contacts for all the disaster. If something is happening in the country, say earthquake or some health disaster or something like that. So if something like that is happening, you have to use your resources. Now, at this stage, we have resources in the bureaucracy that we had means we had made link within those days of our government. That bureaucracy exists. I mean, they are now in BJP government in different positions. So they help if you do something for the nation. So you have to utilize your contacts, and that makes you important. You have to afloat in any adverse situation. That is one key point in life. You have to keep yourself afloat. If you are not in power, many of the leaders are youth leaders, senior leaders are having depressions. They are not in power. The Congress party, they always believe they came to this party for power. So you are out of power for 6-7 years, that a lot of people go in depression. A lot of my colleagues, in fact, I'm not going to name a lot of senior leaders also. But what I believe then there is a strong team also that we have. They say, keep afloat, yaar. If you're in a position, you have to work for the country.
Now, insecurity of the new aspirants who wants to join politics. What are the insecurities? Is this the right career option for students or youth to join? Do you think so? What are the do's and don'ts according to you? If you can just bullet point some of the areas, do's and don'ts.
See, for a person like me or for an engineer or professional, when we joined as a youth politician. You know, that's not a very lucrative career as such, because you have to organize a lot of campaign. Then after a certain period of time, you get recognized, and then you get fruits out of whatever you have done. So a lot of people discourage you as such. But what I would say now for youth, I just tell them that you analyze. I mean, even for the student leaders whom we train, we tell them you just analyze what you want to be in life. You know, actually, you have to be very clear. Politics is something where you have to be very clear. There are a lot of student leaders and youth leaders who left. Some people have gone for the competition. They have beaten IAS also, civil services. They are good IAS and IRS officers as well. I will name Padma Pani, then Saurabh is IPS in Bihar. There are a lot of, there's a whole big team which competed in civil services, and they are good officers now. They left politics in between. Some people left politics in between to pursue their career.
दिमाग में ख्याल है politics छोड़ने का?
No, as such, I believe I was more or less satisfied. I thought ठीक है, fine. Academically, I thought I wanted to go to university like Oxford, or that I missed because of political compulsion. Then of course
compulsion.
That's family something, you know. I never wanted to leave my mother and
Okay.
wanted to be in India. Some people just leave as such and then they come back. But then there is a period, if you stay with your parents and with your family for say 10-15 years is a big period. So you cannot. I thought of going to US. I had an opportunity to. At that time in IT, it was like okay, हाँ भाई आओ, तुम्हें क्या आता है? Data warehousing, okay, come on. So it was like I was an engineer. I could have gone there.
Big hard choices you have made.
So I that was a risk that I took. Yeah, I'm happy. I see my
this is family, the most important thing. This is the most important thing. That happiness is the most important thing. The big and the rich and the famous, they have everything and they just commit suicide. You see Kate Spade, one of the richest American lady, Michael Jackson. You just name so many people. They have everything and then they're not happy. So it's a state of mind and it's a choice. Asif, I have a question. Who is your role model?
As a role model, what I have seen or what I have studied, I have always admired Indira Gandhi.
Okay.
As a child, I was a small child. Those days, I was watching when she died. I mean, that time only I've seen on the TV. A lot of leaders, I still remember as a child, Margaret Thatcher talking about her. And a lot of other senior leaders.
What quality of Indira Gandhi?
One word that I remember was they all said she was the champion of the third world. Third world, she was a champion of man.
You resonate with that word.
Yeah.
My next question, Asif. Imagine you have all that you have planned for future. You have your government in power. You have the position that you have dreamt for. What is that thing that you want to add value and that you want to be remembered as Asif Jha? What kind of legacy you want to leave behind?
Life, when I complete my whatever life Allah Ta'ala has given me, that I should be satisfied and the people who I've served should be satisfied and they should remember me as a person. I mean, see, we people are coming from a professional background. We already had a set career we were working and we got into something which was quite risky and then we had done something for our own ambitions, for our own people. We took certain risks. So what I believe at the end of the day, people should remember, I always quote Gandhiji and a lot of Nelson Mandela and other leaders, and Pandit Nehru also spent 9 years in jail. They all had a vision, for the people. They all wanted to do something for the people. So that's what we are doing. I mean, that's a continuous job. Now I've got as far as recognition is concerned, that I have achieved up to some level, of course. Now what next? Now you have a very strong team across the country. If you go to Manipur, you have a team. If you go to Bangalore, you have a team. People
Asif Jha will be remembered. Asif Jha will be remembered for how you want to hear that.
As a leader who has done great things for the people, who has inspired others' life, who has always been helpful, who has always been present 24 hours when you give him
modest. Let me add some virtues to how I see you and how I have experienced all my communications. And you are very modest. You are genuine. I mean, Asif Jha is a genuine person. If he can help, he will come. You don't have to nag and call Asif Jha. Asif Jha will remember.
The most important thing is I'm not a negative person. That's what my close people is.
Helpful, selfless, passionate, focused. I think first thing that comes to my mind is a genuinely helpful guy with a good heart. So
second thing is whatever responsibility I have got, whatever responsibility I'm going to get in future, I'll be true to it. I'll perform well. I've performed well in the past also. So that's part of governance, Governance you learn. I mean, I was part of a steel ministry board, then I was in railways also, then governing body of Aligarh Muslim University also I was for 3 years. So these are all learning phases for governance. So inshallah, in governance I have been successful, and the more responsibility I am seeking. Of course, I am ambitious also for that. I'll
best
perform
of luck
well
for all your dreams.
Yeah.
We wish you best of luck. On a closing note, knowing that why we are here for, knowing the concept of our conversation is helping people, trying to inspire them to go for what they really want to do and passionate about in their life.
Positive governance. Be part of positive
So if you
governance.
can
That is
give some closing note, some motivational and tip, master stroke for the youth.
See, that we always then that's been the most important part when we train all the youth. I've attended many camps and then a lot of 200, 300 student leaders you have to address. They have lot many questions.
How do you motivate them? Just something from your speech.
Yeah. So the first thing I tell them that the career that you are choosing, this is. You have many people come for the glamour, many people come for the recognition and all. I always tell them it needs a lot of hard work, sincerity and dedication. This is, politics or a known recognized career needs a lot of hard work, lot of patience and sincerity, of course. So if you are devoted or if you know all these three words very well, then go for it. You have to have that these things inside you, deep inside you. People should feel it. It should be natural, The first thing is natural. So you analyze. So we counsel them also. One or two, we make groups and then we counsel them also. So we counsel them to know these three things. These things are most important. So if you're going for a career where you want to do something for the people, something for the, and of course, become recognizable in the country, in the state, in the district, and internationally also. We always motivate them to be something really big in life. Something big in the sense that then you have to lead the country. You could be anybody. You could be Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. You could be Indira Gandhi. You could be other leaders also. Rajiv Gandhi was one youth icon. Then you have to be like that. Then I tell them internationally also about Nelson Mandela. Then we give examples of those people who have really sacrificed. Then sacrifice is another word that comes after we motivate them for these three things. And you have to sacrifice a lot. Your family life, then you have to sacrifice your career also. Then you have to be on something where if you are honest, then you won't have money. There will be certain period where you won't even have money with you because you have to prove yourself. And there will be opportunities, of course. Since you're going for a glamorous career in politics, you always get opportunity to make money. But then if you are going for a longer goal, if you want to achieve something really big in life, then you have to be honest, then you have to be true to your people. Then your image counts a lot. And I'm telling you, politics is one career, of course. I'm not talking about glamour career of films.
Highly insecure career, isn't it? The insecure career.
This is one career where everybody sees what you do. This is one more important thing is that when you are in public life, everything, whatever you do, where you go, whatever you do here, whatever you speak, that is noticed. Whom you talk to. So this is one career where your every detail is open. There's nothing to hide. So if you're coming for this career, you don't have to have a double standard, that you have a different life here, then you have a different life here. And second, most important thing, we tell them that you have to be fit. Remember, if you want to be successful, your health is the most important thing. So either you engage yourself in games. If you are not active during your school, and we are active in a lot of games in college days and school days. So I regularly play badminton. I believe in football games, you have to sweat. Games always gives you a peace of mind, gives you a positive thought. When you compete, play, and I advise my students, gym and all is okay. Go for a competitive game. Daily, if you play, tennis is one, badminton is one, there is TT, table tennis is there. A lot of competitive games. If you are at a place where there is facility available, I tell them, make sure at least 4 or 5 days a week you spend time. That will always help you. That will give you positivity. So health and fitness is one thing that we also tell them. Sacrifice is one. Then health and fitness comes in. This is a complete model that if we have more time, then we can tell you that also.
Asif, I'll add up one thing here. Yeah, please complete. You complete and then I'll...
The last thing, then when you complete all this thing, last thing that comes is your thought process.
thought process. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
That's the one.
When you have clubbed all these things, then your positive thought process comes in. Then you
Very true.
towards that goal, that slowly, and then you set your targets. Like within 5-10 years, I have to do this. 15 years, I have to do.
Goal
It
setting.
all comes naturally. It all comes naturally. You know, if you want to be an achiever, just be natural to yourself, to the people around you. You'll always achieve whatever big you want to achieve in life. There's no end to it. You know.
Actually, there is no end to it.
My long friend, I'm telling you, who's in different career. One of my close friend, Rafat Ali, if you just type in, he was an engineer, then he was IT consultant. Then he started a paid content news portal. You won't believe it. There's mentioned undisclosed amount of $30 million US. He sold it to the Guardian. And that's in Google. I'm not saying, I mean, when I asked him, he said, that's in Google. So at certain, after 10 years, he did this. I mean, there are a lot of examples around me also, which people have done it. And the last I would quote from my tabulator, Professor Yusuf. We were all, you know, I'm not a 4-year graduate. I passed engineering in 5 years. So what I believe, he always said, we used to have, I mean, we was from school, but engineering, we used to get involved in activities. So it was very easy. So we all lost 1 year. Major achievers lost 1 year. I'm not criticizing who are the toppers, you know. This is very important as a student. If you're teaching your boy or a girl or daughter, I'm telling you, give them a free hand. He used to say, I used to get like D grade aaya. So D was like passing you. But then he used to call back.
Modern education system sucks.
Yes. उन्होंने कहा सुनो मियाँ, मैंने इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में उनको ही आगे देखा जिनके हमेशा ग्रेड्स कम आए. So I would say all my close friends who are achievers, who are running thousands of crores business, are all who are backbenchers. Most of them are backbenchers. Of course, frontbenchers have also done many things. But I would say, enjoy your life as a student and try to be in a closed campus. Do it from a university and compete and be a part of a cohesive, you know, combined culture where you get to meet lot more students from all across the country who have competed along with you. So that always helps. You know, competition always helps during your student life. So compete when you are a student. That will help.
Thank you so much, Asif. Since you mentioned about the health, and in our previous conversation also we heard a very important note on health, and I would like to highlight here not the physical health, even the mental health, because everything boils down to how we think. And on an average, a human being have every day 50 to 60,000 thoughts, and over 80% thoughts are negative. So we are exposed to all the negativity, all the negative news. So that, you know, in olden days where, you know, there was no this television news bombarding, people used to get negative news. The amount of news we are getting in one day, the same amount of news reached to those people and that old age in their entire lifespan. So this is the amount of negativity that we are exposed to. It's very important to have 15-20 minutes of mindfulness practices. It could be a prayer, it could be a meditation, it could be a breath work. Having these 20 minutes away from the hush of life, and just it could be watching sunset, sunrise, walking alone in the garden park. So these kind of things are really very important for self-introspection.
I have a motivational thought for everybody for that. Yeah. That's one word I would in one sentence I would explain, you know. See, we all, you know, I just people who are depressed and who, yeah, I also meet them, you know. I have to counsel a lot of close people also especially when you're in professional life and political life, you have to do that, and you have to keep yourself also, you know, esteemed, or you also have to keep yourself motivated to for your goals. So we all have come in this life for a certain period, you know.
True.
That's a certain period we have to be here, then we all have to go. I mean, as a Muslim, we have a belief of life after death. There is going to be a life which we have to prepare ourselves for. We all are here, then we have to go. So
India
that's
average
one
is
thing.
65 to 67 years of age is the Indian average lifespan.
Just keep in mind that you are here to do some certain things. Then you have to go. Why there is a fear? I tell them कि what you are fearing for? मुझे भी जाना है, तुम्हें भी जाना है. जो थे उनको भी जो चले गए. Nobody is alive who was here 125 years. That's my favorite sentence. Just tell me if somebody is alive who was here 125 years ago, then you please have depression. Then you please have all these problems that you are facing. We all have to go. We all have to go. Then that means
Make
we are
most
here
of
to.
it.
Yeah, make the most of it. Be happy. Whatever you have, utilize it. Be happy. Be good to your people. And second thing is, just see people which Gandhiji is. That's a very that's his talisman. We call it. Just see the people who are suffering. If you see the real people who are suffering, then you'll believe what God has given
and
you.
count
People,
your own bounties and blessings. So
people
now
are,
our entire these are the prerequisites for happiness. That's true. But yes, the aim of our conversation is to tell people that dream, plan, chase your dreams with full awareness. So in this series, we are just going to go and check different, uncommon stories of people coming from common, humble backgrounds and making big, and what has helped them to reach those levels. And story like yours, Asif, is quite motivating and overwhelming. And I wish you really, really best of luck. And I personally am a Congress fan. I really wish to see you very soon in power and see you in a very influential place where you can really help people with passion.
As a party, our favorite sentence is "We shall overcome."
We are soon. And everything happens for a reason. I'm sure there's going to be reincarnated Congress, and you will be holding a very important portfolio where your all dreams to help people, those who are in need of the help, shall receive your support. I wish you a very best of luck. Thank you very much for joining us. And masalama. Bye. Take care.